Recently, I uncovered one of the most wholesome legends I've ever heard, right here in my own backyard, Yamagata Prefecture. Actually, just a stone's throw away from Yamadera. Only, I'm not entirely sure it is a legend, because some of the things that I found were in fact real. I have with me the stories of Mount Chitose by Rui Matsumoto. The reason why I have this book is because I came here to Mount Chitose, which is on the edge of Yamagata City, and there's a temple here called Banshoji. And I went to the temple and I said, I want to make a video about Princess Akoya and Mount Chitose. And I got talking to the chief priest of Banshoji, and he gave me this book, actually. And today I want to introduce the legend of Princess Akoya. Long, long ago, at the foot of Chitose-yama lived a beautiful princess, Princess Akoya. Princess Akoya wasn't your average princess. She was very adept at waka, classical Japanese poetry, and she could play the koto harp unlike anyone else. One night, Princess Akoya was playing the koto, and she could hear the sound of a flute coming in from far away, and she was mesmerized by the flute because it was able to accompany her koto very well. Way off in the distance, under the old pine tree, she could see the figure of a man prancing around playing his flute. The flutist could see Princess Akoya coming up the mountain towards him. And when she arrived, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, madam. I was mesmerized by your amazing koto playing, so much so I had to get out my flute and play. I didn't mean to bother you. Can you please continue your beautiful music?" To that, Princess Akoya said, "Only if you accompany me." From that night on, anytime Princess Akoya got out her koto, the young man appeared, seemingly from nowhere. Before long, the couple met away from the prying eyes of locals, and they became lovers. When the princess asked who the mysterious musician was, he said he was Saemon Taro of Natori, a city in Miyagi Prefecture, just on the other side of these mountains. That was all she knew, until one day the man appeared with a glum expression on his face. And he said, "In truth, I am the pine tree of Chitose-yama. Tomorrow, I am to be chopped down to make a new bridge over the Natori River. I won't be able to come play music again. Please guide me in my final moments." And as soon as he said that, he disappeared. Princess Akoya broke out in tears, but she vowed in that moment to do whatever it took to help the old pine tree in his final moments. Princess Akoya ventured to the Natori River, and of course it had flooded and the bridge had been washed away. Naturally, she ran to the old pine tree, only to discover she was too late. She watched in desperation as the pine needles scattered in a final lament. There was a strange thing that happened. So the locals tried to move the tree, but it was so heavy that they were unable to move it. It was as if the felled tree itself had grown roots. And suddenly, Princess Akoya understood exactly what the old pine tree meant when he said that he needed help in his final moments. And she walked over to the pine tree and pulled it, and it was as if it hadn't been stuck whatsoever. In memory of the old tree, Princess Akoya took a sapling and planted a new tree, this tree right here. This is the original Akoya pine, but unfortunately it has since died, and so they've taken a new sapling and planted yet another Akoya pine right here. Princess Akoya built a hut next to the pine tree, and in the process established Banshoji Temple, everlasting pine temple, where she spent the rest of her days. And this mountain pass between Sendai City and Yamagata City is called the Sasaya Toge, the Sasaya Mountain Pass. Sasaya is from the word sasayaku, which means to whisper, in memory of how Princess Akoya and the magical musician met, because they had to meet in silence. If you're ever in Yamagata City, I definitely recommend coming and checking out Banshoji Temple, and if you get the chance as well, Chitose-yama is quite a popular mountain to climb. Want more local legends from Japan? Check out the legend of the mythical deer and the old man on Okinasan, or perhaps the legend of Semi-Onsen, a tiny town with its own story of one of Japan's most famous samurai, who coincidentally joined the same family Princess Akoya was from.